We are your home for exclusive interviews and behind the scenes stories you won't hear anywhere else. This is all about Kentucky tracks, Kentucky drivers, and Kentucky fans. We eat, sleep, and breathe it anyways, so we figured why not make a podcast about it? For 11 years, we've been keeping the bluegrass covered in dirt. Now, we're doing it bigger than ever before. We are Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Smokehouse Grill and Buffet.
All right, and welcome everyone to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live here in the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Studios. This is episode number 33 for the year. This segment is sponsored by Dirtman Diecast. You can call the Racetrack Connection hotline 859-412-1287. So Wes, to this episode, our second to last episode of the regular season. Want to get into more details on that here in just a moment. But what I wanted to do tonight, Wes, was because this is our second to last episode of the regular season. Of course, racing season winds down. Still plenty of racing left here late in the season. But I wanted to give our fans an opportunity to sort of lead the conversation here this evening. I want to hear from them. We're going to go on their topics, their questions, whatever they want to talk about. We're going to talk about it here on the pod, just as a thanks to them, because there's so many that have stuck with us all year, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and that's exactly when you and I was talking about what we were going to do for this show, and you bounced that idea off of me, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I said we definitely need to have a show like this, and just really thankful for our fans and our listeners, and to give them opportunities to ask questions and talk about different topics. Just really looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just it has been an awesome year, unbelievable. Just so much fun, so much learning that we've done this year. We've tried so many new things all around, and everything that we've been doing here with Dirt Racing on the Bluegrass, and it has been a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone, all of our racetracks, our fans, the drivers that have been on the podcast, that have listened, everybody, man. It's just, like I said, it's been a fun year. Hard to believe it's already winding down, but it certainly is. Like I said, some huge events coming up, still left this year. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. But Wes, first of all, let's talk about this past weekend. You went down to Lake Cumberland Speedway. Well, it's down for me. It's over for you. And you went to Lake Cumberland. To be honest with you, I wasn't planning on going anywhere. I had a full day on Saturday. Brantley's playing baseball and soccer, and just a crazy day, and really didn't know that I was going to get to make it anywhere. I did. I rolled in late, as I've done. Seems like over the past month, that's the only way I've been able to get anywhere. Got in late to Rockcastle. First thing I want to mention, though, and had a great night there. Always enjoy going over there, and it's always a lot of fun. Had a great time over there. But the first thing I want to talk about is just the car counts. We hear a lot of discussion about scheduling and this and that and blah and blah, and it just seems like it's just never ending. To the point to where you kind of just get tired of hearing about it, to be quite honest with you. But you had all these tracks running this weekend, and you had every one of those racetracks had really good car counts. You had 3 tracks where you could throw a rock on top of each other. You had great counts at Rockcastle, great car counts at Lake Cumberland, and great car counts. First show in a long time at 191 after they just reopened. So, first of all, my first takeaway from this past weekend was that was just really a good thing to see.
Yeah, always. And it is tough, and people's ask us, and we've talked about it scheduling is going to be one of those deals, especially with the amount of tracks that we have that are going to run on Saturdays. But a lot of it, you just got to run and go racing, and let the chips fall where they may, let the fans go where they want to, let the drivers go where they want to, and as long as the pits are full, the stands are full, everybody's doing good. That's where the sport's going to keep thriving, and that's what we hope to keep happening. But we saw this weekend. Really good car counts across the board, like you mentioned, and great racing for sure.
Yeah, I mean it really was, and like I said, to me it's just sort of further proof that I think a lot of this talk that we've heard about all year when it comes to scheduling is just really, I think, is like a non-issue in a lot of ways, because these tracks can run and everybody can get their car counts, and I think the reality of it is everybody has to run. That's just when you have so much, it's like we don't race year round here locally. I know it goes on nationally, but not locally. There's only so many dates in the year, and there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of cars out there for these racetracks. And so, man, let's just go racing. And it's a lot of fun when we do that.
I agree. And, for sure, just being able to, to race and when it's able to happen, working with each other on schedules, running some Friday night shows, maybe running some day races on Sunday if that's possible. But yeah, just going and racing and working with each other and wanting all of our tracks to do good and all of our racers to have places to race and options, and that's what it's all about. And just wanting to keep that, rolling in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. So it looks like, Wes, we do have some spammers on the podcast. Yeah, no, imagine that. So I want to put one up here. So looks like we've got a brand new fan, Wes. His name is Bokul Shah. So he just wants everybody to follow a link there to what we're watching or listening to right now. So Bokul, it's very good to have you here on the Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live podcast. Wonder if he could tell us where Lake Cumberland Speedway is, Wes. You think what are the possibilities that he could tell us where Lake Cumberland Speedway is?
We got another one too.
MD
Ariful Islam.
Yeah. I wonder if he's a doctor. Maybe he could.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe he could throw some money into some of our race car drivers, and maybe we could do some good. Bokul, can you tell us where Lake Cumberland Speedway is? If you do, we'll give you something from Pop Bit, because I've got a few things left from. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out for Bokul. But it's not a real link, so don't follow it. Just stay right here and listen to the podcast with us. I do want to sort of.
Caitlin McCorder says she told him it's in Cambodia.
Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad. She gave him the answer. Bokul. I like that name though. I got to be honest with you. Yeah. Anyways, where was I? Yeah. Well, let's see. So if you don't mind, let's go ahead and get this. Get this started. I want to talk about where we were this past weekend. Sort of recap some of that, Wes. But for those of you all who are here with us in the United States, listening to us, and who are dirt racing fans and not spammers, give us some topics, questions, anything. Go ahead. We want to sort of let you lead the show here tonight. And so go ahead and give us some of that. We want to talk about what you want to talk about. That's what this show is all about. But yeah, Rockcastle, like I said, I got there late, West, but they had 97 cars there on the grounds at Rockcastle Speedway. They had race cars parked everywhere. I mean the top side, even up there on the hill, man, it was absolutely just jam packed. It's just and got there and me and Tyler Rigsby, we've been friends since sixth grade. Best friends. He's more like a brother, I guess you could say, than anything. So got there. I told him I'd come and help him. I think I moved the jack like one time, and then I ran off to the tower where it was warm and took the racing action in. But 27 mini stocks. They paid big money for mini stocks this past Saturday night. It was a really good show in that class. Crates, modifieds across the board, super stocks, just really good car counts in every class. And as always, man, the track was in really good shape. I mean, just awesome shape. Yeah, Heather Lucas here said, I was watching Dalton Lucas. He raced for the first time out there against 27 other mini stocks, or 26, I guess, and he really did. He did a good job. It was very good to see him go out there and make some good laps there with a tough field. He didn't get anybody's way. He held his line and looked really good out there. So, good job, Dalton.
Well, that's definitely a way to get your start, to roll in for a stacked field for 1,500 to win, and that be your first race. So pretty cool to see him out there, and I saw some pictures, watched some videos, so he looked good. So that's awesome. Just stay at it and keep racing and learning all you can.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the case. And like I said, I mean, the track there though, man, like we got to talk about it. I saw Dwayne made a post talking about this being his first year, and he really has just sort of figured it out as he's went along on his own. And man, it's kind of crazy to think that he's sort of figured all this out as he's went, and I don't know that I've ever been to Rockcastle this year and it not be a good racing surface, a good racy track. And Saturday was no different. It's just really cool to see. Not just that, but and then you've got Kevin in the tower and everybody else, Michelle, Shauna, of course, Michael Gadd's back there working the back gate. Just a really smooth operation up there, and I just think overall they've done a great job. Saturday was no different.
Yeah, they really have. They've had a really good year, and still got a couple races to go to end the season. So really looking forward to that. But you had a great trip to Rockcastle, and I had a great trip to Lake Cumberland Speedway. I had to work on Saturday, so I didn't get to leave here till around 4:30, 5 o'clock ish. So got off work and headed straight that way, and just had a really good trip. I had to go by myself, unfortunately. Sherry had to work, and Annabeth was with her mom, but I ran solo and still had a really good trip. Good car count at Lake Cumberland. I think 83, 84 cars. So yeah, still a pretty good car count. Had 33 American All-Star crate cars for their show. So really good amount of crates showed up. And then also 22 hobby stocks. And that's a good number. They ran for 1,500 to win. Skylar Marler in the 257 got the win in the crate, so you was happy about that because you'd picked him on Wednesday, and he looked really good. He's got that car figured out, got the couple of mechanical issues out of the way, and they're really rolling right now. So that team's working in the right direction. Brian Nance gets the open wheel modified win. Logan Preston wins in the hobby stocks. Like I said, 1,500 to win. he didn't tell me this, but he won because you wasn't there, because you're bad luck for him. But he was kind of joking with me. I was interviewing him in Victory Lane, and he said, "See, Wes, you ain't bad luck." And he said, "You even got a green sweatshirt on," and I did. I had a Lake Cumberland hoodie on that was Lake Cumberland Speedway hoodie that was green. So he said, "I even won. You got a green shirt on." But
well, I'm still sticking to my guns on that. Logan, I was in the picture for a very long time. When Logan was winning in the super stock until you showed up, and I know he won in the hobby stock, but that's still not the super stock. So I'm just not willing to take the blame on all that just yet. I don't really understand the logic, but behind all that, to be honest with you. In fact, I think the last he won one earlier this year, but one of his last super stock wins, I was there that night helping him. So, until he does something in the super stock, I don't think that can be settled, really.
Yeah. We just like to give each other a hard time over that with Logan. He's definitely a good sport. And then Joe Warren ended up winning in the legend cars, and it was cool to see the legend cars. I don't know if everybody's seen Brandon Hargrove posted that Tony Stewart's dad was there. He was racing in the 80 car. I want to think he said 83 years old. It was just awesome to see him race and compete. And those legend cars were fun to watch. So Joe ended up getting the win, and that wrapped up the points championship. So that was really cool, and I think that was his first ever victory in the legend cars, and it was just really special to get to interview him in Victory Lane. It was just awesome. So thank you again to Brandon and his staff for asking me to do that. I really enjoyed it. That's been back-to-back nights that they've raced that I've got the opportunity to do that, and it's just really cool. And then to end the night in the mini stocks, Eric Parton got the win. He had to borrow a car from a buddy of his, and really cool to see him still winning that. But him and Marty Gilley had another awesome race. Those two put on a show each and every weekend that they race against each other. And Marty was close yet again. He was right there a time or two, even passed him, and then Eric would pass him back. So that was exciting. But just all in all, just an awesome race in Bluegrass Bonanza there at Lake Cumberland Speedway. Good crowd, good car count, really good racing. And just an awesome night at the track.
Yeah, for sure, and glad to hear it. Glad we were both able to make a couple events here as we head toward the end of the month of September. So really awesome, and like I said, thank you to both of those tracks for their support and everything that they do for us. It's always fun to head to both of those facilities and all those that we've been able to go and just enjoy events this past season. A couple others, though, Wes, I talked about a little bit there. 191 Speedway, I heard they had over 60 cars this past weekend for their reopening night. I believe they've been closed since 2016. So, to hear that is a pretty awesome thing. Of course, we had them on the podcast just a few weeks back, and very nice people, and I think they'll do great things over there. I saw a lot of good feedback this past, on their Facebook page from this past weekend. As you can imagine, a first show, the facility, so much work that they've done there, some things that it looked like they had said on their Facebook page that they were going to work on here in the next week or so. And so, but man, just awesome to see. I do love that track, and I will say if you go and just search YouTube 191 Speedway, you'll see some really good racing there. So look forward to heading over there sometime soon. And then I said 3 tracks, but really 4 tracks, although Mud Lick is in such a location that a lot of their drivers and fans and everything, they pull from really, we've talked about this before, a completely different pull over there. But they had a good car count and a good show their last points night over there at Mud Lick. So good to see all this good stuff going on here locally in our sport.
Yeah, it is. The sport's definitely doing good, and like I said, we just gotta keep going in the right direction. And we've had so much fun covering so very many races this season, and all these tracks and promoters and series. We just thank all of you all because it has been so much fun, and we're not finished yet. So we've still got a little bit of racing left in the year 2023, and we're just trying to make the best of it because unfortunately winter will be here soon.
Yeah, it will. That's for sure. The snow will be flying. I'm satisfied right now because it's racing season, football season, and deer season, so it's a good time. But I know the snow and the ugliness of winter is right behind it, so we'll enjoy it all while we can for sure. Well, let's go ahead and take a break here real quick and give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors. And when we come back, we'll get to those fan topics and questions. Go ahead and continue to bring those in. We're going to get to every single one of them if we possibly can. So keep on commenting. We'll talk about what you want to talk about here tonight on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live.
Racetrack Connection is a social media app designed specifically for racing. On the app, you can find a track, find a driver, review and print track schedules, and use the chat feature to communicate with other fans and drivers at any event. There's even a map feature where you can locate racetracks all across the U.S. Plus, many other features, all for free. Download the Racetrack Connection app today. Donnie Kaufman used to say, "It's good enough to make your tongue slap your brains out, honey." That's what we think about the home cooking at Smokehouse Grill and Buffet in Berea. Choose from the delicious options on their home-style buffet and salad bar, or order from the full menu. Not to mention their desserts and some of the best breakfast you'll ever eat. We promise you'll never be disappointed with this racing family-owned business. Visit their friendly staff and grab a bite to eat. Located just off exit 77 in Berea.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Row Tribe.
This is Worldwide West Lanham. If you're in the market for a storage building, look no further than our friends at Barton's Insulated Buildings. With nearly 30 years in business, they specialize in insulated storage buildings, mobile home underpinning, garages, and pole barns. With 2 locations at 3739 South Laurel Road in London and 3300 Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin. Call them today at 606-528-7221 and tell them Worldwide West sent you.
And welcome back to the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Studios. Like I said, this is our Ask Anything Wednesday. I'm not sure. I said, going into that, if you talk about Ask Anything, Wes, that you might get in a position to where you regret saying Ask Anything, right? Because if you go to anything, then I guess that means maybe you have to answer everything to the best of your ability. But anything you want to ask, maybe it's something about Worldwide West, Jumpin' Josh, anything you want to know, our year, the racing season in the past, anything. anything, whatever it might be. Maybe it's totally off topic. You want to know about what we think about the Kentucky and Florida game coming up this weekend. That's something I'm interested in for sure. We'll talk about it before we jump off here. So we'll try to get to
Call from
Robertson.
Hey, look, we've already got a phone call, Wes. It's Roberson. All right, we're going to take a phone call here on the what was it we were calling this, Wes? This is the Racetrack Connection Hotline. Ask anything.
Racetrack Connection Hotline.
Yeah, thanks. All right, go ahead, Roberson.
What did you think about Steve Altman and Kenny Wallace and them doing for Longhorn?
Appreciate the call. Something he said Kenny Wallace, and who was it doing Longhorn? You're gonna have to help me with that one, Wes. I'm not
Not
sure.
Out of that was Kenny Wallace. I don't know.
Well, let's just go with that, Wes. What do you think about Kenny Wallace? What do you think?
Kenny Wallace is a first class nut, but he is great for the sport of racing, and at his age still loves to race and is still one of the best of wheel modified on the dirt. And he's kind of like Worldwide West. He's just living the dream. And he's a fun guy. And I don't know. I really like the Herminator, Kenny Wallace.
Yeah. I just enjoy his videos. I tell you, I'm telling you. I think the most, I guess the local one that we have that comes to mind of his videos, which I watched every one of them that I come across on Facebook, because he's hilarious, and he's like he's just like, there's no one else like Kenny Wallace. I mean, right. But Victor Lee, I think it was maybe it was down in Florida one year, was in a video with him, and Victor just seemed like so out of place, because Kenny is just so goofy, and he's just funny as all get out, and there was Victor just trying to hang with Kenny Wallace. And I'll be honest with you, I would not do any better myself, but I felt kind of sorry for Victor trying to keep up with Kenny Wallace in that video.
I think Victor was just he just could stand there with his mouth open and really didn't know what direction Kenny was going in, because he was running about 150. So right. I felt bad for Victor in that deal too. But
for sure.
I think I've got a answer on that, and I did hear something about this. They raffled off a Longhorn modified to raise money for his crew guy Jughead for the medical bills. Yes, I did see that and thought that was really cool. And a lot of people's reached out to help Jughead, and that's really been cool. And that's what it's all about is our racing community and family coming together and helping each other when we need help. And yes, I did remember that. So thanks for bringing that up, Roberson. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, glad you figured that one out there, Worldwide West. That's what we count on you for. Glenn Fowler Fireball wants to know, is the Battle of the Bluegrass series still around? Unfortunately, no, it is not. It's the Battle of the Bluegrass series, we all know, has been gone since 2009. So. Rest in peace to the Battle of the Bluegrass series. I don't think there'll ever be another one like it. We had a really fun podcast series on Battle of the Bluegrass this past off season. If you haven't been able to check that out, go back and listen to some of those episodes. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. It was really a lot of fun. We had some really just fun conversations with different people on here about that. So, but no, it is not around, unfortunately. I wish it was.
And we had so much fun going back and reliving those days and talking to drivers, and announcers and promoters and people that had such a huge part in that series. And man, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it really was. I don't I don't know that. And we talked about this a whole lot before, but I don't want to talk a whole lot about it because if you want to hear about that, go back and listen to those that podcast series. But I don't know that when it comes to just regional and local super late model racing around here that we'll ever get back to those days again. Not to say, because I want to be careful. It's easy to live in the past and just to see the past as it's like it's easy to do that. I think our best days are ahead of us. That's my hope when it comes to dirt racing. But from that particular standpoint, I don't know that it'll ever get back to that point again.
Yeah, those were just special times, and things have changed a lot since those years. But it's definitely cool to look at and to relive and talk about people and the memories of that series. And that's what we did for the whole month of February, and just had a blast doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just kind of going through some of these as best I can to see them, on the topics. Ken Short says the tribalism is what's got to stop. That's almost Wes. Like that's almost too big of a word for me. I don't know, man. I don't even know what tribalism means. To be honest with you, it's that's a struggle for my Breer education. I guess you might say.
Yeah,
but
straight up Breer. I thought he was talking about was commenting Boku and MD Airfoil Islam.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's you cutting out big time or it's me. Somebody can tell me. It's usually when it comes to connection issues, it's usually my fault. But I heard about 1 out of every 3 words that you said there, Wes. I almost felt like I was talking to you on your cell phone with T-Mobile. But anyways, I don't know, me or you. But yeah, tribalism, I'm not sure. Maybe he was talking about Bo Cool and those guys. I'm not real sure what Ken was referring to there. All right. Well, I mean, it is Ask Anything Wednesday. So Jack wants to know, what do you think about it? I mean, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't know all the details. And that's not my thing. That's not me. I think there's a lot of what ifs, or did this happen, did that happen, what? I think when it comes down to it, you're talking about a lot of people in this sport who are very passionate about our sport, right? And you're talking about 2 guys, along with a lot of other folks who have done a lot of good in our sport. And I appreciate both of them and all of our other track owners, promoters, series promoters, all these people who've put in the work and put in the effort and put up the money over the years. And I think when it comes down to it, Wes, the one thing that I hate is, and it's not, people want to single one thing out, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like whatever it is at this moment. But season-wide, overall, the one thing that I hate to see as a race fan, just in general, and I'm talking about from start to finish, right? I'm not talking about just this one thing. I'm talking about from start to finish, all of it. So many people have been a part of it, have taken part in it. It's just the drama overall. I just think that it's just unfortunate, and I hate to see it. I think in some ways it's made even, I'm just speaking for myself, what I've done, what we've been doing, not so fun at times. Because, man, we as race fans and people in this racing community, we just want to go racing. And we appreciate all of these people who stick their necks out and their wallets and everything else, and have for years have done for our sport. And I think that's what's important. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree with you 150%. And I just I hope that everything, the differences are worked out between the two of them, and they can move on, because I do appreciate both of them, and their passion for the sport and what they do for the sport. And I just hope everything can kind of come to an agreement, and just kind of move on and go to the better with the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that's the only way that we can answer that, because like I said, we don't. It's not us. We don't know all the details.
Don't know the ins and outs of it, but anyway, there's our answer.
Yeah, and like I said, I just think overall, I think moving forward, when it comes down to it, I think everyone just needs to sort of, I think it's like a lot of the stuff has come down to what other people are doing at that time. I'm talking about, but we've heard a lot of, fussing and bickering about tracks and schedules and this and that and all that stuff. I think it's like, man, just go. Everybody's just got to go race. You know what I mean? Go racing, and have fun, and do the best we possibly can, and do the best we possibly can at what we're trying to do, which is hold events and have races, and let the chips fall where they may, and have a lot of fun doing it. Because ultimately, if we're not doing that in this sport, none of it's worth it.
Right.
Well, let's see what else we can find. I see several people talking about Dalton Lucas. Chad Stocks wants to know, what does the future look like for hobby stocks if Thunder and Lake Cumberland use different rules? Well, I have heard some talk about that a little bit, as far as Thunder Mountain and Lake Cumberland possibly going to changing the rules up a little bit. Well, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, that's what happens to almost every class. Like a lot of these classes, rules are changed just a little bit, and so by a little bit of a change in rules, it takes cars out of one track or the other. I mean, I think honestly, when it comes down to it, I'd hate to see that. I'd like to see everybody be able to stay within the same rules on those cars, because I think the only way you're going to get some of the car counts we've been seeing in that class this year is if everybody stays within the same rules. Yeah, so I mean, I think if they go different rules overall, number-wise, it wouldn't be a good thing for the class. That's what I think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and man, you all have heard me say it time and time again. I know, Josh, you and I have talked about it. I absolutely love the hobby stocks and the excitement and the racing and the competitiveness. So I would love to see if that class is going to be ran at several other tracks, that the tracks would keep the same rules, and then maybe, I mean, it could become, possibly, if it's going to be ran at other tracks, maybe work together and make a little series of it where they hit them all and they keep the rules the same way. I mean, that's a possibility. But I love that class and love to see, 20 to 30 show up each and every weekend, whether they're running for 400 or whether they're running for 1,500. I just love it, and that's just such a cool class.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, I think, like, for example, you have UMP rules, and a lot of tracks, especially in the Midwest, and UMP. If you follow UMP rules, then the purpose of it is that everything will be uniform. So you can go to any UMP track, and the rules are going to be exactly the same. And I think in a perfect world, the way we could have, if there was some way that we could have some sort of sanctioning body, some sort of, just a way to uniform our rules to where drivers don't have to worry about going to one track or the other. I think ultimately that would help all of our racetracks in all of our classes to stay within the same rule set, because it's a very tough thing for drivers and race teams to have to change, let's say, go buy a whole new set of tires, for example, just to go run one track.
Yeah, I agree.
But like I said, I mean, that's in a perfect world too, because who's going to step up and become UMP for Kentucky, for example? That's a tough undertaking.
Yeah, it is. Jack Corman, he's got a good point here. Hobby Stock's still a show every week at Lake Cumberland Speedway. Need to stay and watch them. I agree with you. When people leave before this class is ran, they're missing out, because a lot of times they are worth the price of admission to watch the Hobby Stocks. They put on a great show. It's just good, hard, competitive racing, and I agree with him on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I do too, and I think we're going to see Crown Vics are going to be it's going to be another class that's getting started here next year. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. Well, let's go back to the Racetrack Connection hotline, and I think we've got our buddy Miller Time on the phone here with us.
Yeah, what time is it? It's Miller time. It's always
Miller time, baby.
How y'all doing?
That's right.
Good,
We're doing good, buddy.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad somebody got to enjoy some racing this weekend. I was laid up in the damn hospital in Bowling Green. That kind of sucks. But on the mend, so.
Well, I hope you're doing good, buddy. I hadn't heard about that or picked up on it.
I just had a nice little blood clot in my left leg and swelled up about double the size of my right. And a little procedure and 3 days in a hospital bed, and hell, I'm back. I'm home and getting around pretty good now. But so,
well, good.
But I mean, that's
got a big week.
Just ready to go watch some racing again live this weekend.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah. So are we.
Yeah.
All right. It's Ask Anything Wednesday, buddy. One time a year we're doing this. We're letting people ask anything. We're trying our best to answer it. What you got for us? You got something good?
Well, let's see. I really hadn't thought of that. I just call and be calling, just
Well, you got to ask us something if you're calling on Ask Anything.
I will. Let's see. Well, we'll just take it plumb away from the racing. I know there's a lot West Bengals fan, a lot of them. Who they ain't looking pretty good. They got a win the other day, but they just really ain't looking real good at the moment. You really think that they're going to turn it around? I mean, they do got to play my Niners in a few weeks, and that right now I'm gonna say that ain't gonna look pretty for them.
Yeah,
what you think, Wes?
I appreciate the call.
Worried about the 49ers.
You better worry about them, son.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Bengals here for just a minute, and let's think about this. So, Bengals, Wes. I mean, I agree with Greg when it comes to the Bengals. Joe Burrow, they won the other night, but Joe Burrow still he didn't throw a touchdown pass all night. So
he's
rough
still,
night.
He's still hurt. He played hurt Monday night. But I mean, I agree with you. They're kind of out to a slow start, but you got to look. They done the same thing last season, and you see what they ended up doing. So don't count out my Bengals just yet. My little brother and his wife got to go Monday night, so I was happy for them. And we're gonna run up and catch a game sometime this season, and take a little trip to Cincinnati and watch the Bengals. So I gotta say, slow start out of the gates, but you don't win that 100-lap race on the first lap. So, don't count them out just yet. There's a lot of season left, and let Burrow get healthy, and he's got a good bunch of wide receivers. Their defense played really good. Defense actually won them that ball game on Monday night. So that's my short and sweet of it. And we're coming for you 49ers, Miller Time.
Yeah. There's just been I was just I'm trying to operate this phone here as best I can. Being a one man. What do you call this? I'm hosting the show. I'm producing. I'm trying to do it all at the same time.
Hey, we're on a limited budget.
Doing the best I can. So I hung up on Greg Miller. But anyway, yeah, when it comes to the Bengals, I think there's only been 3 games played this year so far. They're 1-2. So we'll make the. I don't know. I think it's a long season left when it comes down to it. So we'll see how the season ends up. But I think the Bengals will be just fine. I think they're going to be in good shape.
All right.
We ain't worried about them 49.
Next question.
But you got one for us. I got someone on the line here. Which route we going? You got a question, or are we going phone?
Let's go the one on the phone.
All right, here we go. You're live here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. I'm having a hard time trying to keep up with where our callers are and not hanging up on people. Tell us who you are first of all.
Yeah, this is Brandon. How y'all doing?
Hey, Brandon. I hope we're doing good. Brandon Hargrove, I recognize that voice.
Yeah. So, I just figured I'd call in. Seemed like a lot of people's had questions, and a lot of people want answers, and I felt like I didn't know nobody, to say what's going on or what went on, and really I don't.
Yeah.
But, although, when you get mud slung in your face, you got to kind of stand up for what you got going on, because I don't want to see. We don't need to lose anybody in this sport, because just like you said, I really feel like everybody that's involved, whether it's Bill Apinas, whether it's, guys up there, Dwayne, talked to him yesterday at Rockcastle, or whether it's Dennis at Thunder Mountain, me and him talk a lot, weekly actually. We need everybody to stay going. We need Chris to stay going. But, a lot of people think that I just pulled the plug on that deal with no reasons. And I wanted more probably than anybody to have another event at Ponderosa Speedway this year, because it's always good for me. It's always a deal where, I do well, especially on that event. But so it come up, just real simple. World Outlaws scheduled an event, said they didn't see our schedule. And so they added an event at Brownstown. But I wasn't mad about it, because, hey, at the end of the day, all racetracks got to make it. Everybody's got to do their thing. They said they didn't see that we had a 2-day event planned. So I get a call from Chris and says, unfortunately, we can't run on that Friday, because it just probably won't be good. And I was like, well, it probably won't be good. So at that point, we were still going with the event. Everything was good. And then we said we'd talk about it later, discuss it later. And I read on the internet that Ironman had teamed up with World Outlaws, to be able to sanction that event that Friday night. And so I get my race dropped with no explanation, and that's the truth of the matter. And then, we roll on, and I just let it go. I'm thinking, well, we'll run support classes on Friday, run a big crate show. We'll get through Saturday, do our big late model show. And of course, as everybody knows, Jessica's had her deal going on. We've had a lot going on with our family. She's been very sick and got a long road ahead of her. And we've had a long road thus far. We've been battling still for 2 years. And, I ain't let it public, and I ain't cried wolf, but it's been a very hard deal for our family. So, maybe on my behalf, I have not been able to put 120% into what I'm doing. But family is what matters, and family's going to be there when all these racetracks and everything else is gone. Yeah. So unfortunately, Larry had called me Monday and says, hey, there's no way possible to run this event. We need dirt. We've got septic problems. he said, I'm down. You know, he's been laid up for 3 or 4 weeks, not even able to get, or can't even hardly walk. And then the creek's dry. So we needed to have been working on this racetrack 2 weeks ago, because the last race, everybody knows, you know, we had track conditions that wasn't good. So I'm not going to put an event on. It's not 110%. So that's when we made our decision to do what we done. And I called Chris that day and told him, me and Brian Abner was together when I done it, and Chris didn't want to hear it. And, you know, Chris has got to make himself look good. And the only thing that was mentioned about Tazewell I said, what if our guys is going to go to Tazewell? And of course he said he'd end me and wait till he got done with social media. That's where we're at. But I'm not mad because Chris has a heart for the sport. He loves the sport. And sometimes he jumps the gun, gets mad. We all do. I've done it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot went on in our family, you know, with his father and things that, you know, there's just sometimes they're bad blood. Sometimes that's going to happen. But hate to get everybody involved in it. But I'm not going to lay over and just say, well, I didn't just cancel this event. I didn't just say the hell with it, because that wasn't the case. I wanted to make that event happen, and really excited about next year because, you know, we've got some big things going on with the World Outlaws, even bigger. Talked to Steve Francis the other day. He's got some great ideas. Lucas is coming back. We've got to get dirt on the racetrack. We've got to get, you know, lots of work done around there. We've got big things scheduled for Lake Cumberland that ain't even over yet. But, you know, when everything's ready to go here and us fighting the problem we are with the creek being dry up there, my family's issues with Jessica, it's just, this is what had to happen. So, you know, I just want to shut up all the talk because I don't want anybody to put him down. I don't want anybody to put me down, although it seems like a few people gave me some free advertising. I do appreciate that.
Well, I hope you think we answered the question as best we could. I mean, like I said, it's not us, so we can't really answer it other than to say, you know, exactly what you said. And I think both you and Chris, we appreciate, Wes, I'm speaking for you, but I'll say I appreciate everything both of you all do. And I think when it comes down to it, the reason sometimes we see some of this stuff is because guys are so passionate about this sport and have invested so much. So
that's exactly right. You know, I know a lot of people kind of thinks that, you know, me and Richmond hate each other. And I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that's got a racetrack, I mean, I've been talking to that guy from 191. He reached out to me. I've been reaching out to him to check on him because anybody that does what we do as promoters, and Chris included, I have a ton of respect for them because I'm going to tell you at the end of the day, if it was about money, that they wouldn't be doing it because there's a lot of shit gets slung and a lot of, you know, I mean, that's the world we live. So you know, and all of us, racers, fans included, are passionate about this sport, and you're gonna have that. Yeah. Just like, I mean, you guys. I mean, you know, I'm sure there's things you don't agree with, but you know, I don't believe in the getting on posting, you know, just to try to run somebody down. I think Chris jumped the gun. He probably wishes he didn't do it, but it's done. It's over. And, you know, I've got to, you know, the truth needs to be told because a lot of people's invested in these racetracks. And I'm going to tell you something. None of us racetracks need any negative feedback because the day and time that we're living, we need everybody. And I wish that, you know, like some people said, all of us racetracks could sit down at one table, eat the same meal, and shake hands because I've got so much respect for them guys that they have no clue whether they like me or not because I know what it takes. I mean, it's like Josh King, all the racetracks. Mitch McCarter, he's one that, I mean, it takes daylight to dark, 7 days a week. Your mind better be churning if your fingers aren't moving because, you know, it's just what it takes to make it work. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't see the sleepless nights, the 14, 16-hour days, you know, because, I mean, what are you going to do? Pack a camera around, say, I've done this, I've done that? I mean, no, you're just trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, we thank you guys for what you do, and that's about all I got.
Okay, buddy. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and like I said, we appreciate everything that you've done. You, Tilly, everybody, just like you said, what you guys do.
Yeah. Just there was a lot of scenarios there. Not knocking nobody. A lot of scenarios went into that decision, and like I say, Ponderosa Speedway. I don't have to have it. You know, I took that place to give people a place to enjoy when I could make it happen. I think a lot of people expect a lot more out of me than I do with it because, you know, they want me to run every Friday night. Well, I wish I was 10 people, but I'm just me. So, you know, that's how it is, you know what I'm saying? And anybody that's out there, if they think they can do it better, if you're listening, you know, there's always a price that, you know, somebody can come along and take it over. I picked up Ponderosa Speedway for one reason. There was nobody in sight to keep it going. Not because I needed money, not because of any other reason that I'm passionate about our sport and want to see it keep going. You know, I could close up today, go to work a 40-hour job just like anybody else out there. I do it because I love the sport, not because I have to. And I think a lot of people forget that when they want to pick up a phone and talk badmouth racetracks. Not only mine, all racetracks, series, anybody that's involved in the sport. I mean, I've seen hate towards you guys, and they don't know what you all put in, not even making money for this deal because you love the sport.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Wes and I, we talked about, you know, we could buy a racetrack, but we're broke, so that's just too bad. We just have to keep doing a podcast. So,
well, what I'm getting at, you know what I'm getting at.
I do. Yeah.
You know, we all do it for the love of the sport, whether you're a fan, whether you're a racer. We all make so many sacrifices to be involved because this is a sport that does not sleep. If you're sleeping, there's somebody beating you, and I'm not sleeping. That's why we've got 2 successful racetracks. And if anybody can say any different, you know, I'd like for them to prove it because I feel like we've made a statement for what we've done with both racetracks, and just appreciate all my staff and the series and everybody. We've got Hunt the Front reached out to me about next season. Excited about that. Of course, we've got our 10,000 win crate race, biggest race in the state of Kentucky coming up. We got our 10,000 super race coming up November the 11th. So we've got a lot run what you brung this weekend. We hope you come and spend your money with us, and we hope you go support Richmond, Rockcastle, Mudlick, Florence, Thunder Mountain, every racetrack in the state of Kentucky because we need you. So if you're listening, I've got nothing bad to say about any track. So we appreciate you, man. I'll let you all go through with you now. Okay, man?
All right. Sounds good, buddy.
Thank you, Brandon.
See you.
See you, bud.
Thank you.
And you know, Brandon, I think he could answer it on one side of the best, and I think it was a good answer as best you can. We hate to see any of it. Another thing I'll say just on that topic, and we're gonna move on. We'll talk about something else. But everywhere we've been, we said this earlier in the year, but everywhere we've been, every single racetrack, one of the things that seems to always be a topic is just the negativity, the complaining, the whatever you want to call it. I can promise you that it wears on everybody.
It does.
And
it sure does.
Yeah. And like he said, part of it is that way because we're all fans, drivers, all of us. If we weren't passionate about it, one thing is the stands wouldn't be full. The pits wouldn't be full. So, a part of passion comes some of this stuff, and I understand that. But I just think overall as fans and all of us drivers, all of us, we need to think about when we raise our voice, when we speak or when we type, we need to think about how it affects the people we're talking to.
Yeah.
Because it does.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And it affects so many people, and there's so many people involved, and it's not when you make a statement or whatever, it's not just directed at one person, it's affecting a lot of people, and then it gets everybody stirred up and everybody's got their own opinions. So I agree with that. Yeah. Think about before you say or type or whatever, when it comes to any of those issues. I agree with you, buddy.
And you know, yeah, and I mean, you know, think about what kind of impact it could have, because I know we get frustrated. You know, it's easy to get frustrated. Like I said, we are passionate, but
Right.
what if, like I just said, Wes, we could go buy Ponderosa Speedway, you know, buy that lease, right? Let's go buy. Well, the only problem is we don't have the money. Well, we don't. Just being honest, right? Okay, completely honest. We don't have the money. What if these people who are putting themselves out there with their money, with their time, with their efforts, decided they were going to stop doing it?
Yeah.
That would be, you know, that would be a shame. And I think there is a possibility that with things that are said and done and social media posts and all this stuff, can you force some of these people out? I think the answer is yes, you could, and that would be a shame, because that's not what any of us want.
No. We we want everybody to do good. We want these tracks to stay open. So we've got a place to go and race and watch races, and because that's what we love. We're passionate about it, and we want to see all of them, you know, as I said earlier, thrive and do good. And we've got to work together. And you know, it is a business. A lot of, you know, you got to look at it on the business side, but you know, we're here to have fun too. So we got another caller.
We do have another caller. If I can figure out how to be a producer again, you're on Dirt Racing on the Bluegrass Live. First of all, tell us who you are.
My name is Dwayne Benson, and I'm the new track announcer at 191 Speedway.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hello, Dwayne.
Good to hear
How
from
are
you,
you,
buddy.
gentlemen?
Good.
We're good.
I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys and say hello.
Well, awesome, man. Yeah,
We're glad you
good to
did.
hear from you. Yeah. How did things go at 191?
Overall, they went really, really well, Josh. I think for the track to have set for 7 years, the surface came back, and we had a little bit of trouble with it, but it was just a little bit of too much water, but that's easy correctable. And there were some other things, but it went well. Overall, it went very well.
Yeah.
I know the drivers were really excited.
Okay, awesome to hear. Yeah, I mean that's what I saw. You know, myself saw a lot of really good things. Well, Dwayne, good luck up there the rest of the year. Have fun up there announcing, man. That's a really fun thing to do. You know, I mean, a tough thing at the same time. Let me tell you. Look forward to hopefully doing more of that. You know, myself in the future, just a little bit, just you know, just for fun. I enjoyed it, but you do the same. Since it's Ask Anything Wednesday, before we let you go, you got to ask us a question. Since it's Ask Anything Wednesday.
Okay.
Any question?
Which Hall of Fame driver is your preference? Is your favorite?
Okay, which Hall of Fame driver? We appreciate the call. Which Hall of Fame driver is your favorite? Hey, that's a good question. You go first, Wes. Which Hall of Fame driver
It
is
is
your
a
favorite?
good question. Man, there's so many. Which Hall of Fame driver? Man, I don't really know. Like I said, there's so many different routes to go, and then also, like, you know, different eras throughout the years. You go first, and then let me think on it for a few minutes.
Well, I'll let you think on it. I mean, it's kind of an easy one for me. It's a more recent inductee. It's got to be Mike Jewell, only because, like, you know, I mean, personally, someone that I grew up watching racing. When I was a kid, he gave me a trophy one night at Ponderosa Speedway. So for me, that's an easy one. It's Mike Jewell. Mike was always just such a nice guy. You know, great race car driver. You know, people would dominate locally, but then Mike Jewell would show up, and it's like, yeah, go ahead and write the check. We know who it's going to.
Yeah.
And 9 Butterball wins. Yeah, that's an easy one for me, just personally with him.
And he's definitely one we would love to have on the show and talk to him. Would be really really cool. I guess I would have to go with Black Sunshine, Scott Blomquist. I'd have to go with him.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably an easy one.
It
Easy
is.
one for you too.
Yeah, because he was the very first, I guess, my very first driver that I just, you know, kind of cling to, became a fan of, and still a fan today. From the very first race I ever went and watched, he was my driver, and so that one's definitely special with me, and to get my picture took with him a couple years ago at the World Finals at Charlotte was really cool, and got to take a picture with him right before the feature on Saturday night, and it was cool because my wife Sherry hollered at him and said, "Hey Scott, can I get a picture?" And he thought it was getting a picture with her, and she said, "No, my husband."
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
He was excited too. Yeah.
He was. He was.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely the voodoo child, Scott Blomquist.
Yeah. Well, that's not a surprise there for you worldwide. So, yeah. All right. Let's go to one more call here real quick, and then we'll end with those calls and try to get to some of these comments. But all right, back to the Racetrack Connection hotline. Go ahead, tell us first of all. Let us know who you are. No, it's no one, Wes. So that's who that was. All right, we gave it our best shot. If you want to try to call back, we'll try to get to you. But this comment here says back in the 70s, there was a Kentucky dirt track championship. 3 tracks: Richmond, Taylor County, Ponderosa worked together, had a great 3-day weekend series. Can the promoters now get together and have something like that? I think that's another thing that comes down to good question for the promoters. I think it would be awesome to see, honestly. I'd love to see it.
I would too.
We've tossed around even the idea of having like a battle. I don't think we could ever get back to the point with Battle of the Bluegrass of having the series that it was, but maybe do a Battle of the Bluegrass Speed Week or Speed Weeks or something like that, and have our tracks try to get together and just do like maybe a couple of weekends, 2 or 3 weekends, and kind of put some races together. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would, and that's something we have kind of thrown around the idea and talked about. How cool would it be to get a speed week, a speed weeks, string two weekends together or so, or 3 days in a row, maybe on a holiday weekend would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do. I think it would be a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great. I'd love to see it happen. Maybe it's something we could make happen. I think it's another thing that, when it comes down to it, you come back to that debate. If you were to do something like that, do you go supers? Do you go crates? And then you end up in that old debate as well. Locally and regionally, I think for the car counts, the drivers, the quality of the field, I think you'd do pretty good doing something like that with crates. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And I think you look at something like that and you raise the money in all the classes, and then do some kind of contingency if you won, all 3 nights or 4 nights, 5 nights, whatever, put up some bonus money. And I think it'd be awesome if we could, get it worked out and have the tracks to work together. I think it would be something cool, and I think it would definitely draw the drivers and the fans as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to look through some of these comments here and see if I'm not missing a topic or a question or. And there's been a lot here this evening. Someone's tried to call and it just keeps hanging up. I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm trying. I promise. It's not for a lack of effort here on my part. Maybe it's an issue with my multitasking. I'm not sure, but I do want to get to all of them that we can. So Jamie Mullen says Mudlick. 7 days a week, and if you miss a day, you're a week behind. Talking about just track work, being the new owners, promoters up there at Mudlick. So, yeah, for sure. We get that. We hear you. We appreciate what you all are doing, for sure. All right, let's go ahead. Let's try to answer this phone call here real quick. Racetrack Connection hotline. Hopefully I've got you this time. Go ahead. Tell us who you are. No luck. I don't know what's going on. I've tried. I swear I have three or four times now. I'm not sure how many, but we'll give up for the night on the Racetrack Connection hotline. Do you see anything else that I'm missing here, Wes? I don't want to miss any. Oh, okay. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of late model drivers? That's a good one. Let's do that one real quick. We'll alternate.
Okay.
So how many people are on the map? What we got to come up with here?
I think we put. Is it 5?
I think so.
So you do 3 and I'll do 2.
Okay. All right.
Now,
let's do that.
I guess this will be like of all time or for Kentucky or.
I mean, I don't know. Let's just do of all time.
Okay, I'll go first.
Let's do it. All right, you go first.
No, you go first because you're going to get 3 and I'll get 2.
Well, I mean, I think if you go in Mount Rushmore of drivers all time, there's two that come to mind that are modern, that are obvious. I think it's Billy Moyer. That's my first one.
And Scott Blomqvist. So there's the 2 and the debatable 2. Everybody says which one's the GOAT. Everybody's got their opinions on that. I got to go with Scott, but I mean those 2 right out of the box. So, all right,
yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that, the J5. It's right back here behind me. Maybe I could just put myself on up there. Just for my little bit of time behind the wheel. Man, once you get past Bloomer and I don't know. I think you put Jack Boggs. I mean, we talked about Kentucky drivers. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think Black Jack belongs up there myself. Maybe I'm not the best historian either, so I feel like someone's going to rip me on some of these. But I don't know. I feel like I'd put Black Jack on there.
Yeah. Man, I mean, then everybody always talks about Jeff Purvis.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be another one that would be up on the? I mean, you've only got a handful of spots. There's so many more drivers.
Yeah.
They're telling us 4 in the comments. So
okay, all right. So that means we're done. Okay,
we're
good. Because I feel like beyond that, we were going to get ourselves in trouble. Plus, we obviously, yeah.
If you look at if you look at today's standards, just like current, so you'd have to, I guess, current drivers as far as super late models. Right now, you've got Little Bobby Pierce, you've got RTJ, you've got Hudson O'Neal, you've got Brandon Shepherd, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Overton. I mean, so that's just kind of rattling off,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's any way you could say Brandon Overton over Jonathan Davenport or, Yeah, I think modern time. I don't know if that you could argue, with I don't know Eldora success, recent success, but I don't know modern times. I don't know if you could rank anyone above JD. You know, that'd be a tough thing.
I mean, it's
5
tough.
World 100s.
Right. And
I'm not a JD fan either, but
right. And you look at, you've got Big Perm, you've got Mikey Marlar. I mean, the list goes on and on of just stellar drivers. Dale McDowell.
Yeah.
Jimmy Owens is kind of not had the year, this year, last year that is kind of, something that he's not had the best of years like normal years for him, but that's another one that's always up there in the mix and has had huge success throughout his years in the super late model.
Yeah, I agree. Let me try this one more time. Let's go to the Racetrack Connection hotline. This is it. If it don't work this time, I'm not trying it again. All right, here we go. You're on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. Tell us, first of all, let us know who you are.
Well, you know who I am.
I know exactly who you are. Yeah, all you had to do is you didn't even get the first syllable
all you had
out.
to do is laugh. You had to laugh.
Listen. I know I got to ask a question. I'll ask that later. Okay.
Yeah.
My phone may die here or whatever, but I've raced for years around every track in this state of Kentucky. From 191 to Lake Cumberland to Ponderosa to Richmond to Goddard to Fleming County and everything. I've raced at every track around here.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wish everybody would get along. But, I don't know. It may be a perfect world. I don't know. And I know what I announced for Richmond Raceway. Bill Lupino's. It's not what Brandon said, but it's Bill Lupino's. And he's really given me a good opportunity with Ultimate Heart of America and doing a little bit of fast tracks and this and that. And I really appreciate that. And, and I've been announcing for 8 or 9 years. Randy Jones is the one who got me started at that and everything else. So, but anyways, that's beside the point. The question, I don't know what question I need to ask.
Well, you called ask anything Wednesday. You got to ask a question.
Caution, listen, you ask us a question.
Well, here we go. Here's the question
for you. Okay, here we go.
Well, Wes, go ask me a question. Okay, go ahead.
No, you ask yours first.
No, you got to ask yours first, Wes, because after he asks his, then
you got to interrupt me.
Okay. All right. Caution. How many Natty Lights have you drank tonight?
Not enough.
Not enough. Okay. All right. Ask your question.
What is your favorite beers, Josh and Wes?
All right. Now that's a good question. Appreciate it, Caution. Good question.
It is.
We'll see you this weekend.
Well, what is the answer?
What is the answer?
I'll let you go first, Wes.
Did he say what's
he likes them twisted tea? No, yeah, he likes them twisted teas.
I heard. He's a twisted tea kind of guy.
No, those taste awful. My favorite is Busch Light.
Okay. Well, what about you, Josh? What put you down? Man?
Miller time.
What put you down?
Miller time, buddy. It's simple.
Miller time.
Yeah. Nothing to it.
All right.
What else would anybody want to drink?
This weekend at Richmond Raceway and this and that, fast track, 5,000 to win, giving Crate Motors both nights. And, it's fine. You can run your mouth. Everybody can talk and do what they need to do. That's fine. I've raced with everybody around this whole state of Kentucky, even before Bill was even a picture of it. I've been around all these people. Listen, let's respect each other and let's go dirt racing. And thank y'all, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass.
That's right.
Thank you,
Let's
We're
let's
looking
go.
forward to a great weekend, buddy.
Yeah, let's go racing. I'm with him. I think that we should just keep that in our minds as we go throughout the. Just keep it right here as we go throughout the racing season. Let's just go racing. Stop posting. Stop going back and forth, commenting all this junk. Let's just go racing. So yeah, sounds like a good plan to me, Wes.
Yeah.
Somebody says, what about Jimmy Owens? He's got to be in the mix. Yeah, I mean, he definitely.
I put him in the mix. I mean, he has had an amazing career. But I'll tell you what's tough is to sit in the stands and go, racing across the country and not see Jimmy Owens running with, Lucas Oil all the time or with the World Outlaws all the time, and to see him have to step down and run some regional stuff, it's just tough because I love the Newport Nightmare and fan favorite anywhere he goes. But he has had a couple years here that's just not been Jimmy Owens-esque, as you could say it, and hoping he gets everything turned around because love to see that 20 car in contention wherever he goes and runs.
Yeah, I agree with you. Amy Marler says, nice shirt, by the way, number 257. Yeah, that is a nice shirt. I don't have mine yet, even though I was the one that picked Skylar to win this past weekend at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So, maybe I could get one of them too. You never know. Maybe there is something in it for me after all.
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it, and I have wore this shirt proudly on several occasions after his big American All-Star 5,000 to win Bluegrass Bonanza at Lake Cumberland Speedway this past Saturday, and I appreciate the T-shirt.
Yeah.
It fits
all right.
perfect.
She says, "Just tell me your size." It's a large. That's it. No, and I do appreciate it. Wes usually gets all the free stuff, so I definitely appreciate if you'll throw me in one too. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So, Pick'em Challenge. I'm up 11-6 now. You talked a whole lot this past week about comeback and all this stuff, and all I do is I just keep gaining on you, man. And at this point, it's just logistics. It's not about who's going to win. It's how much am I going to win by. So at this point, my goal is to double you up. Like 11-6 right now. I want to be at 13-6 by the end of the year.
Yeah, but I don't really have enough races left, I don't think.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. It's not even a question of who's going to be buying the steak dinner. It's just how much am I going to win by.
That's true. As my Papa Mac would always tell me, he said, "You can't win them all, boy." And I said, "I know, but I'm gonna dang sure try."
Yeah, you did win last year, but I'm taking it home this year, so I'll definitely enjoy that steak dinner. Well, let's go ahead and pick real quick. Let's pick two things while we've still got some people on here. So a couple big events coming up this weekend. You know what? Let's do three. Let's do. Nobody's gonna get this one. Let's start with Run What You Brung, 5,000 to win. Lake Cumberland Saturday. The Run What You Brung. Let's pick them. Who's gonna win it?
Oh wow! I don't know. I gotta find out who's gonna run.
Well,
okay, all right. I'm ready. I'll pick that.
Okay.
Roman Wesley's gonna win. Let's just hope he's got a car on Saturday night. That's my pick.
Okay. It's 5,000 to win, so I feel like there's going to be there's going to be more race car drivers in this than you realize. That's what I think it comes down to.
Look, right after I said it, David's.
Yeah. So I see who he got that idea from. It was an original.
That was in the pre-race on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. It was in the pre-race. I figured that to be the case.
Yeah, but I didn't know you was going to ask it though.
I'm just gonna throw someone random, race car driver wise. I'm just gonna throw out a random somebody. So I'm gonna say Craig Stocks finds a car and he's in it and he wins it. And hobby stocks, as long as they have stock, everything can run in it.
That's true.
Brandon, he said that, and that's same Crown Vics front wheel drive. So we'll see. Who knows? All right, Richmond. Let's do Friday night. Damn Yankees 50, 5,000 to win. It's 2 nights, but let's do Friday night for them. Who do you think wins at Richmond on Friday night?
I'm gonna go with Skyler Marler to win Friday night at Richmond.
Yeah, I figured you would. I gave you 2 first picks too on that one. So
you should give me first pick the rest of the way.
But it ain't gonna matter because this weekend at Richmond, Friday night, Dustin Linville in that 39 machine. He's gonna win this Friday night at Richmond.
That's a good pick.
Okay, let's do Saturday night, Rockcastle, 3,000 to win, crates. King of the Rock. Last night, set on the championship points there.
So did I get to pick this one too?
No, I'm going to go first pick this time.
I'm going to sweep this week. I'm going to sweep the weekend. I'm going to.
Yeah, same thing you said last weekend. Jay Watt. I'm going with Jeff Watson. He's been really hard to beat there. So definitely Jay Watt at Rockcastle.
See, that was my pick. That's not fair.
Well, that's why I wasn't giving you that.
Yeah. I was supposed to get all the picks.
Yeah.
Daggone it. Hold on, let me write these all down. Let's see. And you picked Dustin Linville on Friday.
Friday at Richmond, yeah.
That's a good pick too. He looked really good on Saturday night he looked really good at Lake Cumberland Speedway. I think he ran 3rd.
Yeah. Fastest overall in his group. And
I had picked him to win. I said, no pressure. Let's see. To win at Rockcastle on Saturday, I'm going to go with the big show, Tommy Bailey, to win Saturday at Rockcastle. And I don't know. I mean, who knows who's going to show up? You got 5,000 Friday and Saturday night at Richmond Raceway. You've got a 3,000 win at Rockcastle Speedway on Saturday. So, a lot depends on who's going to show up drivers-wise. Who knows who's going to show up, especially with the Fast Track Series at Richmond. You could have drivers from all over the country show up. So that's one of those things. But you still got to go with your locals that's raced Richmond a lot. And you hope that it is a Kentucky or as we call her, adopted Marlers we call them Kentucky drivers, even though they live across the border there in Winfield. So
yeah, we do for sure.
Should be a great weekend of racing all the way around at all of our tracks, and just whatever you do, go support one of them. Have your butts in the stands and definitely supporting, because it's going to be a great weekend at all of our tracks. Got the run what you brung at Lake Cumberland. I think 191's running. I think Mudlick's running. So it's just going to be an awesome weekend. So just go out and support them. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about them all real quick. Like you said, 191, I do believe you're right. I think 191's running again this coming weekend. The King of the Rock, like we mentioned there a minute ago, this Saturday night, double points night in all classes. So I know there's a couple of these divisions west still up for grabs for that championship ring, and all the other stuff they're doing there for their champions. So it'll be fun to watch those championship battles come down to the wire there at Rock Castle on Saturday night, but then also 3,000 to win for pro late models, and then modifieds 2,500, super stocks 1,000, mini stocks 500, and Hornets also 500. So big night down there at the Rock. And then at Richmond, the Fast Track Racing Series double header Friday and Saturday night, two 5,000 to win shows for them, and then the support classes there as well. So it'll be a fun weekend there. Mud Lick Valley Raceway, September 30th. That's this Saturday. Last regular show 2023. So be a fun place. I know, man. They've got so many fans and people from over in that area, and it's just a really fun place. Awesome to see what they've done this year. They're going to end the season next Saturday, not this Saturday, but that's October 7th with their first big 10,000 to win late model race. I'm sure that will be one to see, man. I'm interested to see who all shows up for that race at Mud Lick, because they've had some big car counts and some really good drivers for much less money. So October 7th, I think, will be a big night there at Mud Lick.
Yeah, and they're just in such a cool area there. You've got Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia all kind of right there. So that's going to be one of them deals. Who knows who's going to show up, and should be a great field of cars as well.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be fun to see for sure. And then also this Saturday, 5,000 to win, Run What You Brung there at Lake Cumberland Speedway, plus open wheels, front wheel drives, hobby stocks as well. That is one, Wes, I don't know. I'm sure Brandon has an idea of how this is going to play out, what's going to happen, who all's going to show up. I have no clue what's going to happen at Lake Cumberland on Saturday night. I'm just being honest with you. Like, it would be fun just to show up and see what in the world.
What cars is going to show up.
Yeah, I know. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
150 laps, and I think on Saturday that Brian said that they're going to start the race 3 wide.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to wreck like crazy coming into one.
Right. I know. The only thing that would have made it better is if we could have found a car for that one.
I tried really hard.
Because I'd have put you in the wall first lap, and I just took care of you. It'd been over with. So
yeah, the only bad thing about that, I would have squeaked by, and you'd have wrecked the rest of the field. And
you'd have still been trying to figure out where the gas pedal was at. So yeah, it's about definitely how that goes.
Definitely gonna be fun.
Yeah, it will.
I've got to answer a question here that Jack sent. Has anyone heard about the 550 at Florence? Yes, unfortunately, it was canceled. Don't know all the details and reasoning behind it, but that's one of our favorite races. We do look forward to each and every year, that Fall 50, but for this year it has been canceled.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Seems like they don't get to, even though it stays on the schedule, that they don't get to run that race. Half the time at best, it seems like that it survives the weather. So, hate that, but still plenty of racing otherwise. And then they're also having the King of Compacts up there at Florence again this year too. So that'll be 10,000 to win for them. So no supers though, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, I think it was pretty fun show. Fun seeing all the questions. Getting to answer a few, we didn't know how many people were on the Mount Rushmore, and, history lesson for us here. We learned something tonight. So that was fun. Brantley says great podcast. My boy says great podcast. He's been sick this week.
It's past your bedtime, boy.
Yeah, he's been sick this week. He's got a little touch of pneumonia going on, and we took him to the doctor today, and so yeah, he's been sick. Had to miss baseball and soccer practice. So, oh, sorry, I took it down there.
Yeah, don't take it down, Josh. I'm driving this car. Yeah, I've got to go back to that. That was a good one, David. Hold on a minute. David Tilley had asked, he said, would I take a ride in the two-seater if he got to pick the driver? I'm going to say yes to that question, and then vice versa. After I ride the couple laps, then we're flipping the script, and whoever's driving first will sit in the passenger seat and ride with me. So I'll say yes to that.
No way that's happening. No way that's happening.
You think insurance won't allow it?
Insurance ain't gonna allow that, buddy. Lack of experience, and they'd like to keep their two-seater. So, yeah, that's where that would go. Well, it like I said, it has. It's been a fun show. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's your opportunity.
I accept the challenge
to be in the two-seater. All right. Like I said, it's been another fun show. Let's go ahead. We'll wrap this up, guys. It's been, like I said, a lot of fun. We'll try to do this again next year. I do want to mention real quick too, Wes, though, because we saw someone say earlier, I'd like to see the podcast keep going all year. So we're going to go this week, and then we're taking next week off because I'm going to be on vacation. And we'll come back the week of October 14th, whatever that is, the following week. Prior to it's like after October 7th, we'll be back on here for our final show. We're going to do one last Lives Top 5, sort of a final Lives Top 5 of the year. I know we've took some time off from that. Wes has got a whole lot of results to uncover, and then I've got a whole lot of trying to figure out where everybody goes and update and all that. So we've got our work cut out on us during the off week. And then that show will be our last show of the regular season. So it's been a great year. It's been a fun year. But then in the off season, we're going to do some fun. Like, it's not going to be, we're not taking the whole time off. We're going to do some interviews and talk to some people and go some places that we don't have the time during the racing season. So a lot of fun stuff to come in the off season here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the off season, and just keep watching, because we're gonna, if we are able to attend some races, to close out the season, just we'll put stuff on and still cover what we can. So just make sure you're looking and liking and sharing those posts on our Facebook page, and really looking forward to the finale here of our regular season, and then just really looking forward as well to our off-season shows, and got some cool ideas, working on some stuff, Josh and I are. So if you all have ideas or people that would like to come on or let us come to the shop and talk and visit, and have a show, just shoot us a message, because we're looking for ideas for the off season, for the winter. But we're really going to stay in the game and do some fun stuff this winter, and get ready, get us through to the spring, and get ready for the racing season for 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So some fun stuff to come this off season. We're going to talk to some people that we normally wouldn't have the opportunity to talk to. We're gonna go to them rather than doing everything here on StreamYard. So really looking forward to that. Do want to say quickly, thank you to our sponsors, Smokehouse Grill and Buffet, Racetrack Connection, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, The Detail Shop, Extreme Style Signs and Graphics, Fast Track Racing Series, Ultimate Heart of America, Super Late Model Series, the Dirtman Diecast, CT Promotions, Mud Lick Valley Raceway, Richmond Raceway, Rockcastle Speedway, Thunder Mountain Speedway, Lake Cumberland Speedway, Ponderosa Speedway, Ironman Late Model Series, and the Bruce Built Performance Ironman Modified Series for a few more weeks here in Kentucky. Until next time, we will see you at the races.
Thank you all.